Serge from Arizona State University. Thanks as I'm program chair, co-chair this year, and for those of you who came to participate in any sense in the geospatial stack, talks, tutorials, just being in the audience, thanks. We've been pushing for the past couple of years to try and grow the geospatial presence at SciPy, and I think we're on a good trajectory. In terms of the BOF, it's totally flexible. I just put it into a submission because I felt there was a good chance there'd be a lot more people here this year than in past years on geospatial stuff. And as the ecosystem starts to grow and expand, I thought it might be a good time to bring together folks who are working on either development of packages in that space, using or consuming packages in that space, or basically anybody who has interest in geospatial with Python, to all get together and share ideas how we want to grow this ecosystem or talk about issues. So it's totally open. I don't know if they're recording it. I don't think they are, but I will be happy to take notes. We do have a microphone we could pass around if folks want to participate that way. We're all birds of a feather, so I guess.
You know Sean Gillies is going to be here?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Considering that the author of like 75% of the tools that I'm talking about.
Right. Right. One of the things I was hoping to get some clarity on would be what do we have in the stack? What are we missing in the stack? For what we have, how do we get those pieces to leverage each other so that we don't duplicate efforts and we can enhance the ensemble packages? I have my own views of what we have, and I'm sure I'm missing things. There's probably folks who didn't come this year who are working on stuff that could be very relevant to all of us. So maybe that's a good point of departure to talk about folks who are actually, say, working on packages that are relevant to geospatial and how they see that fitting into what they're aware of. Maybe we would all learn something new about things that weren't presented yet here at SciPy. And we all probably work in different problem domains as well. So, yeah, Matt.
So one of my kind of initial perspective on it is, and this is sort of evolved over the years, but basically there's all the tools out there in open source, in the open source world, not the Python world, but the open source world. Do any spatial analysis that there's implementation tools, almost everything. And for years I've been happy with using Python and so I would do an analysis of graphs and then pull data out in arrays and do something there and then export it out to wherever. That's becoming more and more tedious, and I find myself wanting to run in Python with everything. So I find myself wanting to recreate all of those other tools. You know, I want all my raster operations to happen on NQAs. I want all my vector operations to happen on geodata things. That sort of thing. So that's just that's my perspective.
Well, Sean showed up, so.
Yeah, and I guess one issue that I've run into is, so there are two fundamental packages that a lot of these things depend on, GDAL and OGR. And so the fact that there are pre-built versions of those things out there, like Conda and Canopy, is awesome. They're not necessarily, I don't know if they're necessarily consistent with each other, but they don't necessarily include, well, like I don't know if they all include CDF, for example. Is that in, okay. But it would be different.
Compile with, you know, other different options.
Right, and so, yeah, so the problem is that if you're, let's say I'm using Anaconda and somebody else is using Canopy, in the version of GDL that I have has some compatibility built in that somebody else doesn't, then the whole thing blows up, but I can't share code anymore. So that would be one issue to try to tackle somehow. I don't know how, but and then there's the issue of the geodatabase support of OGR which, I mean, so Kevin, you and I talked about this last year, it sort of seems like each individual user has to sort of work out with Esri, like, I want to be able to build this and
yeah, and
set
there's a
up
real
myself.
licensing issue there. It's possible. We haven't sorted it yet. I mean, I think we talked about it.
Maybe the new version of Google will have a person engineer driver that is just going to be enabled by default.
How complete is that?
I don't know actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we could discuss like how to make this much easier. And I think this is like a pretty simple one download. I think you can like install it on Mac. So I don't. It depends on the environment.
But you don't have to, as long as you sign up to your email, download the DLL, drop it right away, and then copy it up.
Yeah, okay, so big caveat there, and then compile GDL, which I've never been able to successfully do. So having like a common package for it or a camping package for it, all that stuff built in, would be hugely useful.
Yeah, so the geodatabase driver is in Geo now. That's Mapbox paid out of the rule to write that, and it's focusing on writing because our need in Mapbox will have people be able to upload the geodatabases and then use it in file and then file set.
So he said writing, right?
Reading.
Okay. So yeah, in my case, we've got somebody who, we'd really love to get a geodatabase. So now it's like, all right, now we don't use ArcGIS, so now we need to spin up an instance of ArcGIS just to be able to convert what we've got into geodatabase, which seems like.
Yeah, I talked to the developers who work on that project, and they told me like basically the only thing they really are hard on the POS is that people don't sell it. But otherwise, they're really wanted to make it disseminated more widely, and if that's not happening, it's just something you can go like spend hours handling the whatever to simplify.
Yeah,
There's no real constraint there.
we think we could redistribute it in the canopy package, but all the lawyers have to redefine that to make sure that
They're always
yeah.
They're all-
Are we missing other things?
I have a question to the audience. Is there anybody here who's doing geostatistics in Python?
Last year there was some French guys who gave a talk, but I haven't.
I mean, I like what I talked about, it's really not creepy, which, as far as I can tell, is really available in Python. It's not easily compared to, say, R. So that's something I would love to see. And it's actually something I'd be willing to contribute to, but I can't leave because I don't know enough about the topic to be able to say what is even necessary. But if there's, if somebody wanted to fire that up and lead it and say, okay, we need functions for this, 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 this. Here's the algorithm, here's the C code, we need to route, whatever. I'd be willing to contribute to that, but I
Yeah, I'm interested in point patterns. So I'll probably do that. But it's going to mean it has to use geopatterns.
Yeah.
as long as it's available, I care. But I don't know.
Yeah, we had talked about on the PySal part putting in support for point patterns, particularly on networks, but that's a special case of the bigger ones. But we haven't because of bandwidth constraints. Not enough people on the team who are experts or well versed in that. So if there's folks that are interested, it'd be great.
Does anybody know, like, so there's the geostats package right in R. Is that just a wrapper around a C library or something? You get in and everything from?
I'm sure that's almost all of it. Okay. Use the but it's GStat. But it's GPL. So porting it to Python. Stuff like that.
And then somebody told me yesterday about there's a
I think it's JSLib, maybe, the Stamper guys.
Okay. I just wonder if that's something to draft and to look at.
The other thing that strikes me as really exciting but also somewhat daunting is what's happening on the visualization front. The question I've heard most often here and this week is, have you seen this? And it's like, not yet. And then I see it and it's like, okay, we could go down that road. So what are your thoughts on that in terms of, say, visualization of either vector-based data or raster-based data, space-time data? Do we want to let 1,000 flowers bloom? Do we want to think about putting our energies behind one package? Or
I think I've just seen Cartop a little bit this week and the requests they've got. And you, Rich said that Jeff Whitaker sort of acknowledged that Cartop has pretty much everything over for basement. Which, I mean, I've been pretty happy with basement, for half years, but your guys' solution seems a little, or the Cartop solution seems a little better.
Yeah, but there's a whole web world too. It's a whole different thing when you can pass something on to Lisa. Right. Or do you do it doesn't, I don't think we have PLD through what's just B3D or that. There's no inherent there.
And then there's also Foley on the Vincent's, yeah, which is pretty nice as well, just like the JSON construction for the traffic.
In terms of the, either one package, I don't think the choice is really going to be between 1 and 1,000. But I think you want more than one and probably a lot less than 1,000, just to keep whoever it is that, I happen to pick on their toes. Basically, make sure that there's somebody who's doing something hopefully slightly different, but maybe sort of the same, and they would look at that and say, oh, okay, I need to, make mine better because there's something else. So yeah, it'd be nice to have some competition in space, but not many that you just can't even figure out what to choose.
yeah.
Yeah, in the interactive world, it's hard to figure the jobs to someone that's really interactive with the production world.
Yeah, and I guess how much overlap is there between, something like SciPy and some of this fully interactive stuff? Like, I don't happen to need the interactive stuff as much, so I don't really care if SciPy has interactive integration or not. But I don't know if that's a big driver for people elsewhere in the community.
Yeah, I think there's a diversity of needs, because on my side it's mostly social sciences, and there's a huge demand for interactive visualizations there, for vector-based data. So then, we don't. That's what we're using. So, and I don't think we never intended to put visualization into PySal, for example, because that's not what we do. But people keep asking for it, and I said, well, we've been thinking, well, let's just wait as these visualization toolkits mature. Someone else is going to do this, and we just use that. What's that going to be? I don't know, because it's kind of taken off.
Yeah, I've seen a few lists, like Carson had a list of Python packages that are useful for graphic problems. And it seems like if you look at the R documentation, they have some nicely laid out pages that say, this is the kind of problem we have. These are some tools that might work with it. You can imagine something that was kind of like that, where it's like, well, you want to do visualization? Great. Are you talking about making a high quality map or output to PDF, or are you talking about doing interactive on the web? Kind of just build out a little bit of a taxonomy of some of the packages that are recommended for those things, so that someone who's new to this space can kind of get a flavor of what's available. Half the time I'm here, I'm just writing down package names, which is great, but it doesn't seem necessarily like the most efficient way to learn about what's available.
Right.
It's actually a really nice idea. The R task groups
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
are pretty great, where basically you want to do something on package available and what you would, exactly what you just described. And that was something that community wiki type page could go.
Yeah, there's something, I mean, like, so I don't know how far you can go with this, but I would say like GeoPandas, you know, plotting commands are probably a really good way to quickly look at something. Is it the thing that you want to have for your mapping package? I don't know. I don't know how far you can take that.
Oh, it wouldn't be the native thing. I mean, the idea would be to be able to pass it off to the right place.
Right.
To have the API.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in building that out of the core.
Right.
Other packages work.
But it's pretty slick to be able to, you know, bring in something in GeoPandas just really, just called plot.
Right, right.
See it.
Okay. What I would like to see is to make that, you know, more powerful, but also less native. Right? To just have it, you know, as it goes out, you send the right parameters.
But I mean, I think that's an example of something
Yeah.
we would say, if you want to do quick visualizations, use this. If you want to hold long things, use this other thing. If you want to do analysis, graphic, vector.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent idea to build this, take a shot at building this task view analog for our community.
Where would it live?
That's a good question.
Might be something like that.
Probably not well used.
Well, there, I mean, so there was a,
None of us know about it.
so in the education buff, or teaching the SciPy stack last night, there was discussion about using, sort of combining, using data carpentry and then the SciPy website for some of their stuff. I don't know whether, like, spatial stuff should really live on the SciPy website or whether we should go someplace else.
There's a topical software section on the SciPy website, which used to be pretty well maintained and, you know, kind of listed, but it's kind of, when they switched over from their old website to the new one they kind of got, it hasn't been updated as much.
It'd be a good place to have links to things, but it's probably not the one you want to maintain.
So that still says we need a home.
Yeah, we do.
Anybody own Python geospatial.org?
We get on.
As a GeoPython, just the mailing list on the website for that. Is that you, Sean, or is that someone else?
Yeah, it's mostly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but I mean, at least it's a domain that we can potentially revive. If somebody, so do you, I mean, do you, who owns it?
That's a British programmer used to
Okay. That's nice and short.
I'd be happy to take a stab at starting to draft something and then collaborating with other folks, filling in where sections where you have more expertise.
And actually, one thing to put in there would be the to-do list.
Yeah, and then where we put it is a different matter. We could get it.
Yeah, so these are all the packages that you have to do these things. Here's the holes that we, you know, so Geo's so.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do we have the mailing list that everybody here would be?
I don't think so.
Great. Nice.
Other ideas? Complaints?
So are many people getting into web services kind of shooting or exposing Python?
Yeah, we are.
Sorry?
We'd like to. We're exploring options.
Right. What kind of packages have you got in mind? OWS is pretty awesome as well.
Sorry?
OWS then is pretty awesome, but it's like that burn.
Yeah, we were looking from providing access to PyCell analytics via the web, and then chaining them with other things. But that's other people on the team. I'm not a web person.
But I mean, I just think just listening to people talk this week, I think there's a fair amount of
Yeah.
interest in, software resources.
Well, we could start just a Git repo to build this thing, the materials for the task view, although we got to come up with a different name than task view.
Sure. Are you happy with the integrated vector data? You talked about having a geo API vector. Is that mature now? Is that the vector or the Rust or both?
So for the Rust area, the databases, and for
So I didn't hear the whole question. So is it that you're trying to merge the two somehow? Or?
I mean, keeping those packages separate for me is kind of, it's more of a kind of an experiment in design. Because I noticed early on with GIS software, there's often kind of things tended to be very monolithic, right? That had very large package. And it wasn't really like update that much. So that was split up. Of course, it's kind of artificial because the deal that we are.
But they are.
In fact, going to be merged in the next version. So there's going to be a deal rewrite to do something that seems so that the pointless difference between the last and the second dash is going to go could have the data set class.
So you're going to have to sort of adapt.
Yeah, but only underneath. I think what I want to do with the other is have to be future using an nice API that works for me that makes it look.
Well, I think, I mean, there was a talk last year about namespaces, and, so you've got a big project or something, somebody might find useful, pull that out, make that its own repo, and, continue letting it out at some point. But yeah, there are plenty of people who pretty much only work with raster data, or plenty of people who pretty much only work with vector data, so sort of forcing them to use one big monolithic package to either. I don't think it's so. Yeah. I'm okay with it. And I'm actually really happy with Fiona and Shape and this kind of stuff. It's a server with Raspberry. Fairly complete package for data.
I'd worry about if it's in the same process, serializing and deserializing. That's a shakely object.
Have you worried at all about, I guess particularly Fiona, arrays in memory being too large to sort of work with, and so trying to deal with memory map arrays or something like that? billions of shapes in it or whatever, and you had to, you got bogged down. I mean, I guess Fiona's a generator, so you don't have to sort of worry about like all the shapes at the same time, right? So I presume sort of pulling stuff off the file if it needs it. But I guess it would be the case where it's maybe hard to mention, but I mean a shape that's enormous and maybe is so big that bogged down. Yeah.
But, it depends on the file format. It's the underlying file format most likely isn't going to shape file. Whether or not it is.
Right.
The raster thing, she does it.
Well, does the data set doesn't necessarily load the whole. Like if you're dealing with the data set directly, it's not necessarily load the whole thing at once, right?
This is one of the 50 cross platform. There's actually a lot of and it have performance. It's no piece of software, so it has optimizations and really good time. So there's you can read the open file, raster, you open the file, and you read some data from it, and that data is cached. There's a process. And so your subsequent calls, but there's nothing like that. You can probably create some yeah, no, I have to do some job.
I mean, it's probably going to be pretty rare occurrence, but.
Full resolution outline, duration problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of the stack is right in that case is what meaningful operation requires. Right. Sure.
So, do you have sort of future plans for other packages like Shapely, Fiona, or Raspberry, or do you feel like that's the tool set you just need to do all of those?
No, I don't think I don't have any see that. I don't, and I don't have a plan to evolve those sorts of data game time.
And that is actually.
We don't have there's not really a mature practice outside of
Yeah, but
And that's actually a complaint. That's actually a complaint that I've heard from like oceanographers and meteorologists and stuff who deal with a lot of spatial data that also has its time series element to it, and they kind of can't use GIS because it doesn't do that because of the dimension. And yeah, I don't know that anybody's really sort of solved that to be satisfactory.
The third dimension is that easy. You have to say, find that geometry. So basic geometry tools.
I mean, I guess, yeah, for me, most of my sort of 3D applications are images anyway, so you've already got bands, so that's thinking for me. But, yeah, I can see where the application is better for stuff.
Let's say for energy visible application,
No, another time I'm talking about depth. Like so basically we're going to have to implement these all in an internal application. Anyway, we can use VTK for some of it, but you know, if you have a closed 3D body, a geological body, you want to ask, is this going inside or outside that structure? VTK does some intersections and contains and all those stuff.
All right, anything else? I stumbled on Carson's Essential Python Geospatial Library, so that's an excellent start. I don't know how old it is, but... Okay. Yeah, exactly.
How about computations on ellipsoids, right? So, I thought about shapely.geography, analogous to PostGIS geography. I know there's a geographic lib, there's one library.
That's the
latest
4.9.
Oh, it's going to be
Yeah.
So when you say computations, what are you talking about?
Oh, so basically, geometric computations, shapely is 2D planar, right? So if you want to say, what's the distance between this polygon and this point on an ellipsoid? Right. So you create circles then.
Yeah, like getting a centroid of a polygon on a sphere.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, obviously, implementation of great circle distance calculators and stuff, basically.
Right, but it doesn't have the full geometry, so right. Geographic map has parts of it, but it is it's a nice Pythonic interface. I like all the shaping operations. Just working.
Geographic map doesn't have all the shaping.
No.
I'd really like to work from
Yep.
I emailed Charles Carney, the author of the geographic work, hey, what do you think about this? And so that's a really hard problem.
Yeah.
I'm a geodesist, so like, I don't know, maybe there's shortcuts.
But much of it is solved in PostGIS, right? That's open source. It's not fully the full implementation of the geos. So sweet that it's close.
You do that really right, you just do a graph and curve back to the projected space. And then just put it back to the projected space.
I don't need to know projection for that local area to put it to that application.
Yeah, there's a lot of constraints there. So I don't know what, I use geography for a lot of questions, but
Is that based on GL's operation? GL's got that.
It's not in geos, right? But it's the same operations that geos uses, but only on ellipsoid, that's my understanding. But it only has one ellipsoid. But we can.
Is anybody here familiar with Python language?
You've heard of it, but
What's the SQ?
Let's see. C++. So it's a open source code from developers who do spherical geometry.
Oh, we're really perfect.
No, our existing Python language.
I have seen, like when I just Google
But finding geographic doesn't bring up.
I think it's the easiest one. I implemented shapely geography for a couple of operations, just to try out the API. It's very fun.
Like a mesh shop? Or is that?
I didn't push it.
No.
Oh, would it? Yeah.
Yeah, this concept for is that something you want to keep out of Shakespeare?
Okay, so does anyone want to run with the setting up the Git thing for the compiling the list? Or I'll be happy to steal from what Carson has, and then if people want to contribute, just send me your ID and take it from there.
I actually have the original markdown that made that post, so save it.
Awesome. All right, thanks for coming, guys. This is excellent.